Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel Smart Data Learners by datascientist.ca. Our website datascientist.ca has all the uh, posts relating to the videos we have created on our YouTube channel. So today we will again, this is our second part of series of addressing the series of questions which are very important for certification and interview point of view. So let's begin without spending more time on that. We'll directly go into the 5 questions which we will cover in this our second video of this series. So let's go to the first one. The question is basically let's make it bigger. So today's first question is, what is the difference between a slicer and a filter in Power BI? A very important question that is very sometimes both looks similar, but let's start what it is. Slicer is a visual tool that visual control that allow users to filter data, while filter is a data manipulation tool that allow users to filter data. That the observe. This preposition is correct. The slicer is a visual control that allow users to filter data by selecting values from a list, while filter is a data manipulation tool that allow users to filter data based on specific criteria such as date, range, text value, or numerical data. Okay, let's see how the filter works. So let's first look into the slicer. Slicer is a visual tool. For example, we have states. Let's put a slicer here. Slicer we can get from here. So that is our slicer visual, and in the slicer we can use, for example, we want to uh, select data based on states. So we can use state field. We have these states: California, Florida. That's how we control the output of our visual, right? That is one way of, that is a slicer, right? This slicer is a visual control. So that is a slicer. Now we will use the filter. So in the filters, we will go there, and in the filter we will use filter on this page. We can put the state For example, we can just select California. So it will show, but it's not visual. So we put the data uh, within the filters pane, but it's not showing here. So that's one way of controlling the output of our visual. So that based on that depends on our requirements and needs, which are beyond the scope of today's discussion of this question. So that's so the main our goal is to find out what is the difference between slicer and a filter. So we figure out this is we use the filter. We can remove that, and then we can use a slicer as already I showed you. So let's go to the question number 2. You are creating a data model for airline company. Which entity should you use to store the information about aeroplanes? So entity mean table. So so basically, what it says is where we will store the information about the table aeroplanes, where we will give the name of the model, model ID, type, category, and so on. The entity should be used, the entity that should be used to store information about aeroplanes is aeroplanes. This is because an airline company needs to keep track of airplanes that they own or lease, including their make, model, year, license plate, and other relevant information. This information is important for maintenance, insurance, and regulatory compliance, right? So, so that is one of the questions that can come in an interview or a certification. That is a part of the data modeling. So let's go to the, let's make it bigger. Let's go to the part number 3. That is an interesting question. For example, we have how can you create a calculated table in Power BI? That's a very interesting question. There are different ways of creating calculated tables in Power BI, but in the certification or exam or in the interviews, they will judge you, or they will try to figure out if you know what is the best way. So according to the Power BI, the best way is using the DAX formula language, right? Explanation: DAX analysis expression is a formula language. Let's make it bigger so that it's clear to our viewers. How can you create a calculated table in Power BI? So use a DAX formula language. Explanation: DAX analysis expression is a formula language used in Power BI to create calculated tables, columns, and measures. It is a powerful language that allows users to perform complex calculations and analysis on their data. DAX is it's not a basically I won't say it's a complex. It's very straightforward. But we need. I have created lot of videos on the different important DAX measures and their functions. So let's you can review that. So the DAX is specifically designed for use with Power BI and other Microsoft products, making it the more efficient and suitable option for creating calculated tables in Power BI. Preposition to, for example, they can ask you for second option, they can give you use the M formula language. Explanation: while M, also known as Power Query formula, can be used to create calculated tables in Power BI. It is primarily used for data transformation and shaping. M is used to extract, transform, and load data from various sources into Power BI. While it is possible to use M to create calculated tables, but it is not as efficient or suitable as using DAX. So in view of that, we will create a calculated table as well to show you how DAX works to create a calculated table. So for example, in our data set, we have the maximum date and we have the minimum date. You see, min date and max date. So we have two dates, min date and max dates. And we want to create a date table that have all the dates falling between these two ranges. So we can easily create a date table using DAX. Let's create a date table using these two dates parameters, because we know that the maximum date, because we have a date column here, order date, right? So we use the order dates. For example, if we see, this is a min order date and this is max order date, right? So we know these two dates and we can create a calendar. For the calendar, this is the DAX. This is the simplest. For this illustration, we will use this DAX measure to create a calculated table, right? So we'll go here. We'll use table tools. Here we have table tools, new table, and we simply use this DAX measure. In the DAX measure, we use calendar and then calendar. Then we use this DAX date 20230601 is the start date and is the end date. So it will fill up all these dates between two dates. Okay, so that here we have a new table. And if we go to the here, you see we have a calendar table now. So that's the answer for the question, how can you create a calculated table in a Power BI? So use the DAX. This is the explanation. DAX is a formula language used in Power BI to use calculated tables. We have other options, but for this question's point of view, for the certification and for in case this question come into interview, we can say that we can use the DAX to create a calculated table. It can also be used for calculated columns and measures as well. So next, let's go to the next table. That's very interesting question. And also there can be an error can be this is very error prone question. The question is, you want to show the comparison of sales performance between different product categories. Which chart type would best to use? Answer stacked. The answer for this question is stacked bar chart would be the best chart type to use to show the comparison of sales performance between different product categories. Explanation. A stacked bar chart is a chart that displays the total value of each category broken down into subcategories. This makes it easy to compare the sales performance of different product category. The bars are stacked on top of each other with each subcategory represented by different colors. The height of each bar represent the total value of the category, and the length of each. Let's try the other one. Okay, sorry, this is the stack bar chart, right? Stacked bar chart. So what we did is, let's recreate this chart and show you. Let's try to create that again. So we are using, you see, this is a stacked bar chart, and we will use, in the y-axis, we will use product category, and in the x-axis we will use sales. You see, and in the legend, you see there is a legend. In the legend we will use subcategory. Okay, so that's how we create the stacked bar chart. That is an answer, that is a very important question that can come into a certification exam, PL 300 I think, and as well as in an interview. So that's the product categories like electronics, subcategory accessories. The height shows electronics have the most sales, and within the electronics, it's laptops are the most sales. So that's how this will work. So let's go to the, I hope that makes sense. Now let's go to the next question. So we were here, they are asking, how can you create a custom theme in Power BI? Let's make it bigger. How can you create a custom theme in Power BI? You can create a custom theme in Power BI desktop. That is what the answer is. How can you create a custom theme in Power BI? So they can give you the options using the Power BI service, Power BI mobile app, or using the Power BI developer tools. Correct answer is you can do this by creating custom theme in Power BI desktop. And in Power BI desktop provide a user-friendly interface to customize the appearance of your report. You can modify colors, fonts, visual styles to create consistent and visually appealing themes. Here is a very brief overview of the steps involved. Open Power BI Desktop, launch the Power BI Desktop application, navigate to the View tab, click on the View tab in the ribbon, select the themes, click on the Themes and button and choose Customize Current Theme. Customize the theme. This opens a dialog box where you can customize the following colors, modify primary and secondary color, text, adjust font, families, sizes, colors for titles, visuals, customize appearance of visuals, including background, borders, font, sheets, page, set the background color, page, image. Once you have made the desired customization, you can save the theme for future use. This custom themes can then be applied to other reports within Power BI. By creating custom themes, you can ensure a consistent and professional look for your Power BI reports, aligning them with your organization's branding and style guidelines. So let's see where we can go. Home, view. So this is the theme. For example, this is the theme. So this is the themes tab in the ribbon, and then we can go here and apply. Let's see. We can customize this theme. Like you see, we have different colors, we have text, page, and so on. Let's see what else we can access. We can customize this theme. So that's basically that is the answer for we will create another video for working on how to apply the themes, but for the scope of this today's video is to give you the idea how we can apply the themes to our Power BI report. Hmm. So there we have, as already explained, we can customize current theme, and that's it. Okay, so View, that's it for these 5 questions we covered today, and in the coming videos we will do more questions, and we will solve these questions and create and the visuals according to these questions or DAX, Myers, or whatever we need to cover. Uh, because that these questions are important for both certification point of view and interview point of view. If we believe that if our viewers practice on these questions, not just memorizing these, but actually doing a hands-on experience with these kind of questions, that will help them conquer the interviews as well as pass the certification exam. That is it. That's it for today's video. But viewers, very important is that if you like this video, please subscribe our channel and also like and share the video, because that will give us the motivation to create and bring more topics to cover, which help our viewers to be successful in data analytics journey. Thank you and have a great day.